We talked about this.
Talked about what?
This.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. Communication gaps. This video is going to be about communication gaps within couples.
All right, so I know we have one other video on communication. I'll link it somewhere. But in this video, we really wanted to talk about the individual issues that, Monty has and I have with him and he has with me. We're all our own people, right? We're racially different, but also we're just different people.
Issues? We have issues?
We're just different people, and we're just different personalities. And, one of the biggest issues I have with Monty's communication is how he's just very in your face, like very like say it as it is, kind of East Coast communication. And if you know California at all, like we're very passive aggressive here, and we're also we don't want to, like, for me personally, the way I communicate is, I worry so much about how Monty's going to take it or how anybody's going to take it. I hate making people feel uncomfortable. I hate you feeling like I hurt somebody, so I almost overthink my communication. Whereas like Monty, on the other hand, like he just kind of just says things as it is, and honestly, it just sometimes makes me shut down. And I'm just like, okay, there's a better way to say that. Or honestly, it also doesn't need to be communicated. The number of times you're communicating it, like I get that you clean the island, like go ahead and clean it if it's dirty, like you don't need to tell me that it's dirty when you clean it. So I think we just have different communication styles, and he has his own reasons for doing what he does or how he communicates, but it doesn't stop me from being annoyed, right? Like I'm just a different person and I take things a certain way. So that's one of the biggest issues I have.
Okay, I have a few things I want to discuss. My biggest thing with our communication gap is when Dawn communicates is very passive, meaning whatever's on her mind, sometimes she doesn't really articulate that to me. Just like she mentioned in her conversation, she likes to overanalyze the different ways how she want to approach the conversation because she's afraid she's going to offend me versus just coming out and discussing with me. I'm her husband. I feel like she should be completely transparent and feel comfortable to have these conversations. And sometimes it just comes off wrong and it affects everything because I'm not understanding what's going on and she's being passive about it and she's just holding a lot of things in. Okay, another pet peeve that I have is when Dawn communicates with me, sometimes what she says is completely different than what she means. So it's misinterpreted. And, sometimes I'm always trying to figure out like what exactly is her point, what she's trying to say. And, she says one thing, but that's not exactly what she means. And we constantly have that little communication gap and we're just trying to figure out the best way to handle that situation.
All right. So Monty talked about all his issues and I did mine. And what is the solution, right? So, for a long time, we kind of talked about, okay, what would work for me? I would be like, Monty, you need to communicate better. Say it this way, say it that way, right? And for me, it was more of like, be softer in how you communicate. And for him, it was like, Dawn, like instead of leaving these thoughts in your mind, just communicate, which was honestly just hard for both of us. And so, I started seeing a therapist. And one of the things that she taught me and us was how to communicate with each other. And the first thing was she mentioned is ask your partner when is a good time to communicate. Like, hey, Monty, I need to talk to you about this. Is this a good time to talk? Because not every time is a good time to talk, right? So this is a good time to talk. You ask. And then if it is, you sit down, you look at each other's faces, not walking around distracted, and then you start your communication. And number 2 is mirroring. And that's the word she taught me. Basically, I talk to Monty, right? I tell him, hey babe, I feel lonely when you're working. And he mirrors it back to me so that there is no misinterpretation. He's able to really understand what I'm feeling so that there is no oh, I thought you said this, that kind of stuff. So mirroring it back to each other. Number 3 is presenting a problem and letting your other person come up with a solution. What does that mean? Let's say I have a friend, right, who I love very much and comes up to me and tells me like, Dawn, I don't have money to eat, right? What will be my first reaction? Obviously to give her food, obviously to give her money. I mean, I'm going to do everything I can to help her, right? Because she's my close friend. So same thing with Monty, I need to tell him, hey babe, this is my problem, and let him come up with a solution, whatever it is, right? And if the solution doesn't work for you, that's okay. You talk about it, but you give him a chance to come up with a solution for you so that, he's able to take it in, digest it, and come up with something, and that'll make you feel good too. Like, hey babe, you work too much and I'm starting to feel lonely. What can we do about it? Or, hey babe, I'm feeling completely overwhelmed. You need to take over some parts of this, like housekeeping stuff. So like that kind of stuff, or sorry, I don't say you need to take over. I just say, hey babe, I'm feeling overwhelmed. And then his response should be, how can I help? Like, where can I help? How can I help? That kind of stuff. So basically, present your problem and let your partner come up with a solution. And number 4 is communicate anyway. One of the biggest hard things I feel is communicating things that I feel Monty won't like, and a lot of the times it might be like a lot of personal issues. It could be about, anything, like about housekeeping or about the number of times he goes out, or whatever. And I just feel like, I should just be able to communicate anyway. Why am I holding it back? And one of the things my therapist said was like, Dawn, you hold it in, meaning you're just going to get resentful anyway. So better to talk about it. And if he has an issue with that, he just needs to communicate that to you. Like, you guys need to have an open and honest communication. So those are the 4 more main points that she taught us.
Whew, I can't even go behind all of that. Everything she said. Men are super simple. Babe, and my solution is just be transparent with me. Just learn how to just communicate instead of holding things in and being passive. I think if you just approach me with the situation, things will be much better, where we can have that conversation right then and there, instead of you holding on to it, trying to figure out so many different ways to communicate that. And it affects you throughout your day, and it affects us, and it affects our family. And, if we just figure out a solution, how to just have that conversation right then and there, things will be better. See, that's simple. I don't even have 4 points. Mine is just communicate. You don't find that funny, did you?
Alrighty, thanks for watching, guys. We hope this was beneficial to you guys. If there's anything that, any questions you have, or any other communication tips for that matter, please leave a comment below, let us know. We truly appreciate all of your comments. We read all of them, and we're so grateful for the community that we've built here on YouTube, and for all you guys that watch us religiously and, leave us comments below, and our biggest supporters. We thank you, and let's close this out, right? Yeah. We'll see you back here for your next one.
Okay, another communication gap that I have with Dawn is sometimes when she... Oh, what are you doing? You're just looking down.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, another...
Go on. Sorry.
It's all right. It's good. We need that. Another issue that I have with Dawn is when she communicates...
Sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
And number 3 is sorry. Cut that, and then add stuff from number 3.
Okay. Action.